of the plan. Interesting vantage point here, a live look in Tel Aviv at Hostage Square, and then also a live look into Gaza. Trump saying Hamas is releasing and will be releasing all 20 living hostages in exchange for Palestinian prisoners.
It comes as the Israeli military will begin a withdrawal from the majority of Gaza. David Friedman is a former U.S. ambassador to Israel and also the author of One Jewish State. Ambassador, thank you so much for coming on. Your initial reaction here to this historic peace deal, did you see this deal coming to fruition?
It was always hard to see how it would come to fruition because once the hostages are freed, Hamas doesn't have any leverage left, and so we were always, scratching our heads. How are the hostages ever going to get released? Kudos to President Trump. Look, his force of will, his relationship with the leaders of the world, his ability to take all the Arab countries, I mean, literally every single Arab country in the world, and put them on one side with Israel and Hamas on the other, to isolate Hamas, to make it clear to Hamas they have no place to go, they have no allies anywhere except perhaps maybe Iran, which the U.S. and Israel collectively decapitated. So this is very much a testament to the skills of President Trump, to his relationship with Prime Minister Netanyahu, and of course to the brave soldiers of the IDF, without whose courage and bravery the pressure never would have been sufficient to get to this day.
It didn't happen when President Biden was in office, right? Although the attack, happened while his administration was serving in D.C., of course, it taking place in Israel. But I'm curious what the sentiment is of Israelis you've spoken to, sir. I mean, do they recognize President Trump's role in this negotiation? How do they view American politics at this time?
They love him. They absolutely love him. I'm in Jerusalem now. I spent the morning at the Western Wall with 150,000 fellow Jews praying on the holiday of Sukkot. They absolutely love him. They feel he's really a messenger, a divine messenger, to have achieved something so difficult, so unlikely, and to remove this 2-year trauma that Israel's been suffering under. Every single Israeli's been suffering under really a major trauma for the last 2 years, not just the families of the hostages, but everyone. You see that in these protests, these 250,000 person protests in Hostage Square. Everybody feels this pain, and the idea that somehow this pain will be lifted, this trauma will be relieved. They frankly attribute most of it to President Trump. I mean, if you told me his approval rating here was 95%, I would think you might be a little bit low.
Yeah, and you see the American flags there at Hostage Square in Tel Aviv. I want to show this video because this was an emotional moment here. The White House put this out, showing the families of the hostages speaking with the president after this deal was announced. Watch this.
Mr. President, we believe in you. We know you've done so much for us over the past, since you became a president, and even before that. And we trust you fulfill the mission until every hostage, every 48 of the hostages are home. Thank you so much. Blessed be the peacemakers.
God bless you, Mr. President. God bless America.
Thank you very much. You just take care of yourselves. The hostages will come back. They're all coming back on Monday.
What a moment there of celebration and hope. Your reaction?
Yeah, it's, I'm having a hard time keeping my composure to watch this. We've gotten to know so many of these families. I think the most important point, that wasn't President Trump's first engagement with the hostage. He's probably had 100 engagements since he's come into office. He's met with them in large groups and small groups. He's met with them when they've been freed. He's met with families of those who've not yet been freed. He has shown, not just as a president, not just as a policymaker, not just as the commander-in-chief, but as a fellow human being with a big heart, just how much he feels their pain and cares about and wants to bring an end to their suffering. And this was one example, but there have been countless others. This is why he's so beloved in the state of Israel.
Yeah, indeed. You know a lot about it, of course. Your book, One Jewish State, obviously dives into that, your service alongside the Trump administration. David Friedman, thank you so much for coming on with us today. What an historic day indeed. We appreciate the time.
No, thank you so much. God bless you.
All right, you as well. Friedman.